Hello everyone, today I will be showing you intermediate 2-look F2L, getting faster on your Rubik's Cube. So intermediate 2-look F2L is 2-look F2L, but instead of having to insert the corner and edge separately, we will be going over 12 cases to insert the corner and edge together. So first of all, if you have not watched the video on how to do 2-look F2L beginner version, you will have no idea what this video is about. So please watch that first if you haven't already. And let's get started with the cases. So first, of course, you'll connect two F2L pieces and then keep the pair together and then bring the corner on top of its slot. And now this is case one, so we have this pair fully aligned here, and we can put it in like this. So what we will do for this is there are two algorithms. So this is the first one. And then the second one is, so these two algorithms both work, and you can figure out which one you prefer for being faster. And now let's go on to the next case. Okay, so for this case, there is a correctly paired F2L pair, and the corner is above, and the edge is that way. So now what we do is there are two algorithms again. So there's either this algorithm, or you can do this. Whichever one you prefer, you can go ahead and do that. So now let's move on with our next case, which finally has an incorrect pair. Okay, so this pair is like the first case, but this piece is flipped. So for this case, you perform this algorithm. So for the last part, when you're inserting the pair, you can also just turn the cube around and do this instead of having to use forward moves. Whatever you prefer. And then for the next case, let's move on. Okay, so this case is like our second case, but the edge is flipped. So for this case, we use this algorithm. And the F2L turns in. Again, for this, instead of with RU prime R, you can also just do this algorithm. It depends on what you prefer. And next case. So this is very similar to our second case, except the corner piece is in front instead of to the side. So for this case, perform this algorithm. And now, of course, there are different ways to insert that F2L pair, but I won't go over that again to save time. And on to our next case. So this is basically our first case, except this corner is twisted to face away. And for this case, perform this algorithm. Okay, so next case, let's move on. So this is basically case number 2, but the corners in front and the edges flipped. So let's go on with the algorithm. And next case, now I won't talk about the cases much. Okay, so for this one, perform this algorithm. Okay, now on to the next case. Okay, so for this case, perform this algorithm. And then next case. Okay, so for this case, perform this algorithm. Okay, for this case, perform this algorithm. Okay, now we're on our final case. So for this case, perform this algorithm. Okay, so now that we've gone through all the cases, let me explain the importance of this method rather than using beginner TOOLOOK F2L. So the problem with beginners TOOLOOK F2L is that for these cases, you have to insert the corner and edge, which reduces time consistency. For example, look at this. So let me just go into the case. So for this case, what I do in beginner TOOLOOK F2L is first insert the corner and then insert the edge. So now that's two steps as it is TOOLOOK, but that becomes more like three look because first you have to pair up the F2L pair and then you have to bring in the corner and then the edge. And so this brings down one of the looks by combining the edge and corner insertion. And take a look at the algorithm without with F2L. So so that was easier than just having to do it all over again. And then OLL. So as for OLL and PLL, this next part I'm gonna release a new video on which goes over better ways to do TOOLOOK OLL and PLL. It's more like it's called intermediate TOOLOOK OLL and PLL, like the regular version, in which instead of only learning a few algorithms, you learn an algorithm for every corner case, every edge case, and it makes it a little more reliable and faster. For example, sometimes I have problems with the case where there are two diagonal corners that are down. It can take quite a while to do some of the cases in TOOLOOK OLL. So that's why it's better to learn all the algorithms. And if you're willing to learn full OLL, that's 57 algorithms. So I hope this method will make you faster of TOOLOOK F2L. And please subscribe so that you know when my next video is released. I hope you can now do your TOOLOOK F2L faster and it has decreased your time. Goodbye.